You are listening to another Third Coast Nerds podcast. Episode 100. It's a celebration, bitches. You'll have to imagine me screaming Rick James, because I only have one emotion, and I can't express excitement.
Nice.
We need to buy feelings for our robot.
If only she could emote. Do you feel? Damn it, do you feel?
I love how long-winded she can get because of the way pronunciation works. It's like, I'm going to type 9 words, and 40 seconds later.
Well, it does have Neal-approved medieval
It does.
enunciation.
I am very happy about that.
Medieval.
It just kind of polarizes the fact that I'm correct in my vocabulary.
But when I type it, there's not that many letters. It's like, could there be a silent IE? No, there's not. Is there a silent sometimes Y? I think there should be a rule. There is always a silent sometimes Y rule.
True. Yeah, it's nice to have in your pocket when you need it.
Yeah.
And it's because we say y'all so much. We're from the South, and y'all is a word. So we're much more used to the Y than others.
That made Webster's, didn't it?
Probably.
I think so.
We made a word.
If Soccer Mom can make Webster's.
Yeah. That makes code names much more difficult with all these stupid words getting added to dictionaries.
Yeah.
Because then you can use it in code names.
It's like Scrabble. But they don't have the paka, they don't have the apostrophe, so you can't do y'all properly.
Yow!
Most games come with like a tile you can write on.
You can. What is his name? Lal Skeet.
All skeet, motherfucker.
What is his name? The guy.
Little John?
Lil John, yes. You can do the Little John, y'all. YAWL.
He didn't really do y'all. He goes, yeah!
I believe it's actually Little Wayne. Little John is from Robin Hood.
No, there's a
Little
Little
John.
John.
There's Little John.
There's Little
Is
John.
there?
Yeah.
Lil paka
Paka.
John. So yeah.
And he's the one that does yeah, or is that Little? Yeah, that's Little John.
I don't know my people with grills.
I had no idea who it was either until I didn't know. I hadn't seen Chappelle's show, and I go to Best Buy back when you would go to Best Buy, and the guy at the counter, he was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm sorry, excuse me." He goes, "What?" And he wasn't looking at me. He wasn't even making eye contact with me, which threw me off. And he just keeps doing this. I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And he goes, okay. I was like, are you having a stroke? I don't know what's happening right now. Sir, can you communicate with me like a normal human? And it was like 3 weeks later that I finally saw the Chappelle Show skit with Lil Jon. I was like, that little fucker.
I downloaded his latest comedy. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard good things.
The second one's better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what order you're going to see them in if you downloaded them.
Part 1 and then part 2.
Okay. Well, Netflix had them stacked where you couldn't get to part 2 until you saw part 1. And for some reason.
I like it.
So you watched the first one, I was like, I'm a little let down. Then the second one was like, okay, they made up for it. But the first one was kind of like, I don't know quite what's happening here. It's more of I'm just angry at politics and yelling about it. Which, that's what you come to podcasts for.
Right?
You don't go to a comedy show typically and pay a ticket for that.
Well, a lot of performers like to make you listen to their personal beliefs.
David Cross's entire last special was that.
Really?
Yes.
I like David Cross.
I do too.
David Cross.
But it was a little more angry ranting.
People aren't happy. And they want to use their stage for everyone to know they're not happy.
Yeah.
Instead of offering solutions.
I had a spectacular night at an open mic not long ago where like some guys do political jokes. Some guys, of course, it's going to happen. There's going to be Trump jokes. And this...
A little too easy not to these days.
Yes. And this youngish white woman who was, no kidding, wearing a Make America Great hat again.
So
Make America Great Again hat. There we go.
I like Hattigan better.
Hattigan?
Yeah, I like the Hattigan.
Hattigan's Island.
So are you youngish?
I feel like I'm out of that camp.
Okay, so youngish is slightly younger than you.
I guess I'm 34 now. So what, you're a couple of years ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 36 this year.
Yeah.
So
We're in the ABC TV 30-somethings group.
okay. Well,
You just made 30,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's sad when you start forgetting those things in your 30s. You know what's going to be great? When we're doing this in our 60s,
Yeah.
and it's the same exact show as we did today, we just don't remember it.
Yeah.
Will it be what we think it's the 100th again? Like, are we
Probably.
going to be like, wow, but 60 years, we finally got to 100.
And it's nothing but like the theme music starting and over and over and over again because we're not aware that we started the show.
See, but I think the show would just be more of, huh?
It's the music. the music.
Make that noise you made before the
goodness.
show.
Which
I
one?
can't do it on
he made,
command.
he made a lot of noises.
You will do it. You committed to it. You did it like 4 times. You had it.
You did.
There you go. There you go. Throw it in Adrian with that. Give me old Rocky.
Yes. Nice.
It sounded better before the show.
Either that or he really needs to drop a deuce. One of the two. We can use that for either side.
That'd be this one. Adrian!
I like that one better because it makes me think he's named his shit before he gave birth to it.
No, it's just the first one of the day, so it starts with an A.
So this would be the end of the day. Felix!
I don't. Have you thought about the implications of giving something that's coming out of your ass a male name?
Ooh.
No. I don't name my poo. Like, so no, didn't even think about that.
If you're on the can and you're just like grunting like Felix.
I think I would want to do that with the door open, so people knew there was the poo that I was talking about.
Not just the door, the windows. You're just telling the street. People in the corner are like, man, Felix is really giving it to him this morning. Like, geez, man, let the man rest.
Well, you got to take a picture, and then later you hang up a sign. Have you seen me, Felix?
Didn't we do that at the job? At the place?
Whoa.
No. I vaguely remember there being a printout, a missing sign, and it was a picture of a fairly substantial mound in the toilet.
I know I didn't take part in
I would
that.
imagine if that happened,
The mound or the
someone didn't
pictures.
flush, so someone else walked in on it and was like,
I'm just adding.
I'm making copies of this.
No, because there was one guy. No, there was one. I was in that little rotunda area outside the bathrooms. I was walking through, and someone I could hear someone yell from inside, like, "Oh God! Oh, it's above the seat! It's above the seat!" And they were just coming outside and grabbing people to pull them into the bathroom, like, "You have to see this. Someone else has to witness this." But it was legitimately above the seat, which was impressive.
Yeah, that you should take that one. Yeah, wow.
See, I think
I'm thinking logistics, and it's making my brain hurt.
I think
Right.
in the 2 years I was
Because you would
there,
have to stop. You would have to stop at some point and
And adjust.
realize it's no longer falling.
Well, you got to think. You got to think of ice cream cone. The way you start, you kind of have to. It's the opposite. you have to like
you gotta hula hoop it
you have
out.
to hoop up.
So what you're saying is they need to move around the seat a little bit. That way
Yeah,
they
but,
can
but
get
you know the
a
hard
bigger
part
cone.
is like if there's no brakes in it, like how did they know it was there? Like I have to start going up now. Like I'm at the peak.
And this is before good cell phone camera use. You couldn't even use your camera as a periscope to see what was going on.
So what you're saying is someone went in there with like an actual
right.
like camera. Like,
The best was that poo was hanging on someone's like dark room wall.
it left a stain.
It really wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't that long ago. This was like 2004, 2000, somewhere around there. 2003, 2004. It was in the earlier days.
I remember some of those days.
Do you remember the pants leg duker?
Yes.
The pants leg duker. I can't remember who. Well, we're not going to name names anyway, but I can't remember her name. But she got up to go walk to the bathroom, and as she's walking down the hallway, you just see this turd fall out of the leg of her pants.
Yeah.
And just left it.
Was that her last day?
Just
at work?
left it like someone walking a poodle downtown. Just left it.
It was. I didn't get to see it happen.
Good.
But I heard the story, and my
Did you
mind
hear someone
immediately
scream?
went to logistics because like if that comes out 5 steps away, you pinch that off before you got up.
Yeah.
And then there's yeah. Unless you're freeballing it, there's an extra filter in the way that you've got to somehow navigate around.
Unless you're severely dehydrated, it's not making it that far without leaving a good trail.
Oh yeah.
And walking to the bathroom would be the last thing I would think about. I'm walking out the door
Right.
and going straight to my damn car. Y'all have a good day.
And then you're worried about sitting in your car.
See, no. I'm
Yeah.
calling an Uber. That way my car doesn't get dirty.
You're going to get a bad review.
You can create a new
dookie
account
in my car.
Yeah.
just be like, just tie your pant legs to the bottom. Be like, tuck them in and be like, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. I'm waiting for my Uber. Going on
Yeah.
lunch.
Wow.
Oh,
The joys of working in a call center.
I like how we've come full circle back to like the first episodes where we're just back to talking about dookies.
Yeah.
It feels
Did
feels
we
good.
talk about dookies in the first episodes?
There was dookie talk.
Was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have like taken the best of clips out of the episode 1 and or like the first 10 episodes I forgot it was the 100.
If you remember, episodes 1 through like 14 didn't have video.
yeah.
We didn't even have video. So for those that have gone back to YouTube to like, oh, what did these guys look back like? No one's going back to look at the old episodes on YouTube.
Well, didn't we put them on YouTube with just our icon with
Yeah,
the
that was
logo?
it.
Right?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So I mean, they're on YouTube. You just can't see our
Yeah, you
beautiful
can't see us.
faces.
But yeah, they're there.
Hmm.
I need to do a second fail most silent video.
Oh, yeah? You had another one fail?
I had another one fail. I had one of the on location Comicpalooza ones.
Oh, but you redid
fail.
it.
We redid.
Yeah,
it.
okay. So I remember that story.
Yeah.
So, and I watched 2 so far. They actually started popping up on my "Do you want to watch me" YouTube list.
Yeah.
It's because I was just poking around for what I was getting posted around Comicpalooza, and I think like 4 of them on my watch later list.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
That was a good time. That's probably the best. I'd have to say it's the best time I've had at a convention so far. I didn't go to a single panel.
I made 2 panels only.
Yeah. I hung out in the game room. We talked a little bit, but for the most part, my Saturday was just walking around, talking to people, interviewing them.
Yeah.
And had a blast. Day 2, grabbed the interview with you and Michael Champion, which was great. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't know what we were going to be doing there, so that was a little on the spot for me.
You did good. You did a good job. No matter what. I mean, it still turned out
No matter
great.
what. What have you heard? Who's told you otherwise?
Oh,
I don't know. What,
it's about to go down.
it's that thing where you say something, but you don't know why you said it.
Yeah. Mike's a great guy. My main issue there was trying to get any words in, but I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I can very easily just ask a question, and then I can just hold the mic for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but after doing it, I was like, wait, that was only 10 minutes? Okay, or 9.5 minutes or whatever.
It feels like forever, doesn't it?
It does. Like,
Yeah.
y'all mentioned that, from the day before, and I was like, I mean, I can talk to some. Yeah, it felt longer than
I was really sad to go back and look at some of these interviews. I'm like, oh, that's got to be like 15 minutes. It was 2. But you're so, like, at least in some of the interviews that I was doing, especially the some of the ones that I had to go grab them really quick, like the Tauntaun guy.
Yeah.
He was getting mobbed by an army of people wanting to take pictures with him. And I went to go grab the interview, and it's just like this growing crowd around everything that are just getting pissed that I'm in the way. And I'm trying to talk to him, and he's like, he's done. He is done. His day probably ended about an hour into wearing that costume.
I would imagine so.
And only getting like 6 feet in the door.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm getting pretty tired. Because that was one of the questions I kept asking for all these people that were in costume. Like, how many hours do you have in this? And I was surprised to hear, like, some of these people have been in this thing since, like, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Where they started, like, Masha with the Elish Norn Magic the Gathering costume. That was a process that started, like, 5 that morning.
Yeah.
And it would be complete by, like, 4 in the afternoon. So just standing in one place getting airbrushed to just walk around for a couple hours.
Yeah, actually, I saw they were doing one of the airbrush booths, and I went over and a girl's getting airbrushed, and then I see her like, I need a break. And she goes outside half airbrushed to smoke a cigarette. And I think the next 3 times I walked by that booth, she was still getting airbrushed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how long it took per session, but it was, I'm not that No.
There was a crazy amount of detail in that costume when you finally saw it done. There was a crazy amount of detail in it when I actually did the interview with her. The prosthetics, she had the teeth in, which I think with the teeth would be like the last thing I'd want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But she had the crazy teeth in and was just getting airbrushed. And I talked to her after the fact, a couple of days after the con, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm cool with it. It's just you just commit to it. And it's going to take many hours.
Well,
you just kind of understand that.
We are almost in a similar situation with us doing coverage, doing game room stuff, to where it's like you almost feel like it's a job in a way. Except for her job was to stand there and have people put stuff or do stuff to her for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like, we got there early to make sure we got a good parking spot. And, we kicked our days off at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whenever we could. And, we take a quick break for lunch, and then we're back at it.
Yeah.
6 o'clock rolls around, and we're like, crap, we've been here for most of the day. She does all that just to go be in a cosplay competition.
Yeah.
We're running around doing stuff, getting tired. She's in that same spot all day.
And I felt like that day one, man, I think I was there maybe, 8 hours? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
It felt like,
I
felt
went
like
home
a big
tired
day.
every day.
I did more laps around there that first day than I did probably the year before, total over the 3 days.
See, I didn't spend as much time there, but there was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see the whole expo floor.
Yeah.
I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and we stumbled upon Michael Champion, which was great.
I need to put together my B-roll footage because that Sunday after I shot your interview, I just walked around and grabbed some different things, and I finally got to see the corners, like the far corners of the autograph area. I didn't mess with Saturday because I had no need to be there, but I was walking through there just to kind of grab an overall view and kind of get some B-roll of that to put together. And I didn't realize as I was walking through that area Saturday how big it was. Just for the autograph area, it was massive.
Well, I mean, there were some pretty big people there as far as, gaining a crowd. More so than in some of the previous years. Like, Chuck Norris's area was almost Stan Lee size, which I thought was slightly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stan Lee, I can understand.
Well, his signature and stuff was the same price, or actually more expensive. I think I spent $75 on Stan Lee's, and it was $90 for Chuck Norris. If I read it right, I didn't go, so I've been quiet. But
$90 for Chuck Norris is a little too proud.
I would want his beard to sign something if I'm paying that much.
You just coat your beard with ink and you just smear it on a poster.
No, I expect his beard to hold a pen and to write Chuck Norris's beard on a piece of paper for $90. That's what I want if that amount of money is being spent.
See, if it was a reasonable price, I would have bought like an old VHS copy of Sidekicks just to have him go autograph that.
See, me, I'd be that guy who shows up with like a.
Oh, it'd be weird though, wouldn't it? Didn't the kid in Sidekicks die?
I'm not sure. That would maybe change things. But no, I'd go up with like a Jean-Claude Van Damme DVD and get him to sign that. Like a stupid movie he wasn't in.
Right.
Just to see the Chuck Norris reaction to, hey, will you sign this?
Okay, so it's been a while. He died in 2003.
Oh, yeah, that's been a minute. A long
Who?
minute.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah.
He was in, if you remember Sequest. Remember that show?
Yep.
mm-hmm.
He was the dude that talked to the dolphins? Or that one dolphin?
Dolphins were your favorite, Kyle.
I've drank a lot since Sequest.
Damn. And so he hanged himself.
Huh? We had someone recently do that too.
Yeah. Can we call that pulling a Cornell now?
Well, he wasn't the first.
He wasn't the first.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just flip it and you just do the most recent or you do the original.
You have to go with the original.
What was it, the Tears for Fears guy? That was like, you need a spotter? Was it that one?
I think it may be. So did you, what else did you get any games in at Comicpalooza?
No, I didn't play any games.
I played more games since Comicpalooza than I actually played at Comicpalooza, besides my demos. Like I only played demos when we needed an extra player. And it was funny, for Revolution, I had a pretty big table. And I got up from one side of the table to give someone my seat, went to the other side, and I was playing with 7 players. It's a 6-player game. Didn't even realize it. Like, Garcia was like, "Hey man, that game only supports 6." I was like, "I've been here all day."
Where did you get the 7th card?
It was from one of the other expansions because
Okay.
my box is full of all the expansions. So, yeah. Luckily, it was my turn and I hadn't played yet. So I was like, I'm not going to play now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played a couple new games last weekend. Well, they're not new to the world; they're new to me.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen it, it's new to me.
I finally played Lords of Waterdeep, which was a lot of fun. It is a kind of a resource-based game, kind of like your support is for Revolution.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Like
I like how on the majority of this recording we're just going to hear Kyle typing.
right.
Sending an email. I don't relate because I didn't make it out.
I should just make you produce this shit and have you switch cameras.
But yeah, each of you are a different lord. So there's a massive game board you play on, and essentially you go in turns on you placing one of your guys on the board, and whatever piece you put it on, you gain the reward for that particular spot for that turn.
Yeah.
So you're building resources to complete quests.
Is it somewhat similar to Seven Wonders in that respect?
Somewhat. There's no drafting. It's just turn-based. So there's, I think, 9 total rounds, 1 through 4. You get 2 little guys to put out there.
Yeah.
You can buy buildings to make the Waterdeep area bigger and have more options and stuff. But this game is going to wreck friendships. Like, everyone picked on Peter.
Let's face it, any game can wreck friendships.
This one's worse. Because this one is straight up PvP, everyone for themselves. And, like, it gets pretty interesting. So everyone was kind of picking on Peter because it was his game at his house, and like half of us hadn't played. So we're like, we just want to slow him down. So like even picking on him, he still like came in I think second and only lost first by like 4 points. But it was a lot of fun.
And what was the name of this game?
Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
I say that because we've had like a trend here recently where we talk about games, and you bring up interesting games. John obviously brings up some crazy games. And I've had to just keep building the Amazon wish list. So you said Lords of River Deep?
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
Yeah. It's not a new game. It's been out for a minute. And there's an expansion for it, too, that I would suggest.
It's a Dungeons & Dragons thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It was very enjoyable.
I think...
are you prejudiced against Dungeons & Dragons?
I've never played it, but everything I've heard about it, it doesn't seem like something that I would necessarily be into, but my range of things has changed as far as like my interest and stuff. But all I've ever heard about with Dungeons & Dragons are like campaigns that are like freaking 32 days long. And
it's very simple. 2 questions. Do you like dungeons?
And do you like dragons?
It's just a yes or no. You like dungeons?
What if he likes dungeons but not dragons?
Well, you should just play the first half.
Right.
All I'm thinking of right now is like a woman asking me this, and it just be like some kinky shit that went way wrong.
Is he coming on
like,
to me right now?
No. Like,
I'm pretty sure Jed's just not coming on to me.
like a 50 Shades Red Room of Pain with someone just in a dragon costume going.
I love that. That's your dragon noise. Caw is your dragon noise.
You've seen if you've seen the previews, if you've seen some of the spoilers for the new Magic set, there's a cat dragon.
Yes, there's a number of dragons.
Or dragon cat. I don't know what you would say.
I want to do a YouTube video now with him as the father of dragons. Just where he just like stands there before that new scene on the Game of Thrones trailer where the dragons like flying over, and just have a picture of him dressed up like her. We'll put a blonde wig on him, a little skinny outfit, and just have Chad going caw, and then just show that in the background.
It would just I would have to have like a really over the top fake Joffrey voice.
Nice.
Like
I am the father of dragons.
I think it would also fit with the Never-Ending Story.
Right?
Yeah, I think it would go there. I'm thinking of other applications for it.
Instead of a dog dragon, it's like a chicken dragon.
Yeah. he can only get like 2 feet off the ground.
And it just comes at you and flaps at you just in an angry fashion.
I am the father of dragons. Caw.
better, getting better.
Well, I mean, that was going back to the original. I remembered how I was doing it.
Yeah.
It just popped in my head, and I was like, that's how you make that sound.
So yeah, Lords. I would be interested to give it a shot, but all of the people that are in this circle seem to be way too committed to not leaving the house at all for like a weekend of gaming, and I have to break it up. I'm okay, like a Magic tournament. By the time we get to like hour 9, I'm like, y'all need to get out of my house. I was done with this an hour ago.
Yeah, see, my next few days are going to consist of a game night tomorrow night, a Brimstone campaign on Saturday, and then more games Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So this work week, I've had at least like 5 people come up to me and be like, hey, I'm thinking about running a game night over this long weekend, so we need to start deciding who's doing what on what days so that I can get maximum gaming in. So
I wonder if it would be feasible. So there were a lot of poker clubs that I knew about or that I had gone to and had also seen. I don't know if that's incriminating. I don't know. Fifth.
Well, no, it's more than 7 years ago, so you're good.
Yes, this is true.
Yep.
But there were clubs that had houses just for running poker tournaments, and I wonder how feasible that would be if everyone went in on like a like you would for a makerspace. This is just like the gaming space. It's a house that you just trash where everyone stores their games.
The problem is storing games somewhere besides my own house. I don't trust people.
Yeah.
I'd have to have a locker system.
I mean, they have the fridge locker, so I'm pretty sure you could get some kind of like safe installed at this group house.
Yeah.
But who's going to clean it? You're going to show up and play in that mess? Not.
The other game I
Too
played,
fancy for
you
that.
might actually like more, was called Mystic Veil.
Okay.
Instead of it being a deck builder, it's kind of like a card upgrader game. So you have 15 cards, and you start with 15 little placards that are like 3 cards tall, like a bookmark almost.
Okay.
And they're in a plastic sleeve. And all of the other things that you can buy are clear pieces of plastic with a image in one of 3 spots, top, middle, or bottom.
Okay.
So when you buy something, you have to slide it into the original card, and it now has 2 abilities.
Okay.
And so the way you have to stack those to get maximum benefit out of them and things like that. It was a lot of fun. It's got a pretty high rating on Board Game Geek, but it kind of fits the stuff you do with you know, the deck building.
Yeah.
But you know what your maximum number of cards are, and it comes with blanks. So some of the things you draw have absolutely nothing on it, and that's you just buy them to slide in. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
I did. I saw some stuff on the floor at Comicpalooza that people were in the makerspace area. They were printing like upgrades to games to make them a little more realistic. And someone had taken care of the idea that I had, which was to make like a little mini dungeon for Munchkin. So I actually saw that on the floor. Someone had made a little 9 or 10 space little dungeon thing with like fake grass and moss and everything else. It was pretty cool looking.
Was it just for the game board to sit on?
Yeah. Well, no, it just replaced the game board.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So each step. I mean, they had like one room was like a hallway kind of, and they actually had like little doors in place. Yeah, just bump the mic.
Yeah, I was nice.
They had like little doors in place, and you would kind of like go into a room, and as you kind of went through the different levels, they would change elevations, and finally like the treasure room was at the very end, and it had like a bunch of fake gold coins and stuff on it, like
Nice.
Warhammer style, you know, that kind of, you know, aesthetic, or any model building aesthetic, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. It was really, really cool looking.
Yeah, you mentioned me not playing the Dungeons and Dragons. I may be starting a Pathfinder campaign soon, which is very similar.
Yeah.
Who was it that played with us at Comicpalooza last year? They wanted to get into it and created a character and did all that.
Mike, I sat down at that table and actually created a character too. I just don't know where this is.
Me too. But there was someone that like bought a book and stuff later that
Corey.
weekend. Was it Corey?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that's going to be
running.
running
He's the one starting you. So he's been playing for a year now, and now you're like
he has not played yet. He's been reading books and all that kind of stuff.
For a year?
Well, you have to develop a campaign around the characters. So like last week on our game night, we played one game and then we did character creation for our Pathfinder characters. So that's going to be fun. I'm a Drow Ranger. Yeah.
If I had, mine would kind of reflect the lack of time I have to invest in something like that. So it'd be like Ranko the knee foot.
Just a bumbling idiot, like getting dragged behind the party with a rope.
Just a smelly person that just had feet on his knees.
Well, I'm looking forward to developing my backstory because you write your backstory, and usually those who write a good backstory get rewarded by the dungeon master. So Corey better not let me down.
My Raincoat would have ladle chucks.
Is there a time constraint on your backstory?
Well, I mean, I could write a massive book if I wanted.
Because I think that'd be hilarious. Is like you show up with like a tome, not a book, a tome, right?
Go get it like
you have
leather
a bag,
bound,
yeah.
and
so you're just reading through your backstory.
The first
and
line, dude, I would read
they're
it.
Like, oh.
I would read it only if the first line was like, "This is a story all about how."
Well, I could get you to 3D print me like a locking mechanism where you need like the key to set on top and turn it, and the book opens.
Yeah,
actually, I've already seen that file. I can. It's an easy one. I think.
I saw something on Reddit a while back that was a puzzle book. This was how this guy proposed to his girlfriend, and the
took her 2 years to open it.
Well, it was a puzzle book. It actually had like individual pages, but the pages it was all like laser cut out of wood.
Oh.
Garcia, get your goddamn laser cutter working.
It's only been what 2 years now? It's sitting there in a box.
Feels like it's been so much longer.
We could
than
just
that.
go down there and kidnap it.
Yeah,
We've talked about that before, but the cats, they might kill us.
Bring Ronan.
We're done.
Done. You're taunting him with cats as it is now. Just let him loose.
He would be so confused. He's like, "Wait, I can't have the other ones, but I can have these."
Yep.
Deal.
These are bigger.
But yeah, this guy made this puzzle book that had some incredible mechanics into it. But it all revolved around like a story of their relationship. So it would have like this little story piece, and she would have to like guess the right answer, and it would unlock the next part of the book. So it was like this 10-chapter thing, and the final page had like this really complex iris mechanism that you had to get these pieces, these pegs, in all the right holes. That
sounds dirty.
You're marrying a bitch. But you had to get these pegs all in the right holes, and that would allow you to turn the iris and open up the box that the ring was in.
Oh, nice. How thick was this book?
It was about 4 inches.
Nice.
So
like Webster's Dictionary thick.
Webster's Dictionary, but it was all assembled with like really nice piano hinges, and the whole thing opened up, and the locking. It was really intense. All the mechanics that went into this. It was really impressive.
Nice.
But it wasn't like just steampunk a gear. Like no, the guy engineered the shit out of this. It was some really complex, like it's all out of wood, so there was like really complex cam mechanisms and
nice.
really intricate gears, and the whole iris mechanism thing, because you have to get like there's 10 different pedals in this iris, and you have to turn this block, and you had to line up all the locking pins. So it was it's all rotational.
Yeah.
And so you had to have these arms that linked to all these different parts that would unlock it, to where if you linked up the right ones, the whole thing, the individual parts slid, and that would open the iris. So it was that last page was worth the
the price of the book.
Well, it was worth going through the 140 picture Imgur gallery that went through the making of this thing just to get that last piece. Like, that's freaking impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm betting
I would be really pissed if I went through all that work and she was like, no. Like, bitch, look at the book.
Or she only like makes it to like chapter 9 and just can't get to
can't
chapter.
read it,
Yeah,
just
like,
can't finish.
I don't know. Apparently I don't love you.
She just gets pictures like, this shit reads like Tom Clancy. It's too much. I can't read this.
I think it'd be hilarious if you just couldn't get it open at all.
Right.
It's just like
not because she couldn't. She got the answers right, but like one of the pins broke.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? I don't get it. What's next?
Or if she was just like, fuck this, and just went with a sawzall and just went right down the middle of it. Like, all that for a ring?
Oh goodness, that could have gone very wrong.
Yeah.
Very.
They broke up because she's like, "What do you think I am?" Throws it against the wall.
Shatter. Like, that was.
But that's when you know you were like, you know what? That book just saved me a lifetime of trouble.
Yeah.
That was worth the 12 hours it took, because it was 12 hours only.
Maker stuff, man. I'm glad you finally got a printer.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It looks pretty cool, and
I wish I had time. That's
yeah. The time the once it's up and working though, man, it's
running. I want to do a little bit more leveling.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, stuff's coming out
Are
pretty
you
level
1 right now, or?
I would say it's level 3.
You're level 3?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Even though it's only had one print off of it.
Well, you kind of cheated.
3 times.
You kind of cheated because you were like you got past the early adopter stage and you bought into one. It's kind of like buying a game that you buy the DLC and you start at level 50.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing it's just. I mean, yours is more established than mine is. The one you got yours. So,
Not when I bought it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Not when I bought it.
Was it a production run?
Yeah, it was a production run.
Because mine wasn't.
It's a production run by now. Just about every 3D printer now is a production run. But when I bought mine, like the information was good enough to where I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then once I got access to the Robo 3D forums, it was just like, this is it was all about like the version 1s, the version 2s. I was like, oh god, I hope I didn't get a lemon.
Yeah.
And I had one that had most of the problems solved. The bed was a big issue in the first 2. And this one has all the right pieces to it. There's so many parts for this thing on Thingiverse that improve this. Yeah. But luckily I have the one that incorporated all of the crowdsourced fixes. So I'm kind of curious, yours being sort of a kickstarted.
Yeah, mine's batch 2. So the main issues that I know mine, if they would send me that part of it, that they fixed is the heated bed. Mm-hmm. Apparently the original ones, they were warping a little bit, and then the cable was a little off. Yeah. So they fixed that, but I didn't get my heated bed yet.
I'm honestly surprised that the prints that you've done have been successful without a heated bed. But you're using PLA.
Yeah, it's PLA.
Okay, so that you don't need that as much. Mm-hmm. ABS for sure, because if not...
Yeah. Well, that's why I got the enclosure, too.
Yeah.
But the enclosure is a 2 thing, because I can just pop that laser on. It's a laser engraver, too.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I liked about it, because it had actuators rather than the bands and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's more detail. That's why it's smaller, because it just has that detail resolution. So I was like, I don't want to do big stuff yet. If I need that, I'll just send it to you and be like, hey, I made the scale one. Can just double.
After visiting and talking to the guys at Cosine Additive at Comicpalooza for an hour, I mean the
What's
video.
What's their webpage, by the way? I've been
Cosine Additive. I think it's actually cosineadditive.com. But go to our YouTube channel, and the link is in the description. But if
I haven't made it to that video yet.
Yeah, I know. We've all been like crazy busy, which is why we're not getting to this episode until 2 weeks after Comicpalooza.
It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Actually, we were talking about episode 100 like a month ago.
We've been talking about episode 100 for like 2 months. Yeah. Because that little run.
I guess we have been doing these every week.
That run that I kind of had that little spurt from like episode 75 to like 95.
Yeah.
It was like, it's going to come any day now. It's going to come any day now. And then like just lull. And then the special episode. Anyway, the video I did with Cosine was only 4 minutes, but we talked to those guys for like an hour. And we went through all their mechanics of their gigantic 3-foot by 3-foot by 3-foot printer. And the controller, just the drawer for the controller cards and everything else in the bottom of this thing. It's, if you're into making shit, it's just like, oh, like, and me as kind of like a neat freak wiring, like obsessive kind of guy, to see how organized it was. And it's like, if it broke, I could fix it. It's like that scene with the girl in Jurassic Park, like, I know this.
Right.
But we're going to have to go tour that place. I think anybody they're in Houston. I don't know if we have any listeners beyond Houston. For the most part, this concentrates on Houston, somewhat, this podcast. But Cosine Additive is in Houston. They're doing they're having a special order spools of plastic in 500-pound rolls.
That's a lot of printing.
When you're printing in something that has a print area of 3 foot cubed.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of something I have to make. So
that spool holder's not going to hold a. You're like, I can make a spool holder.
That they have to make.
Yeah.
So have you seen they call it the lion? So it prints out where it looks like that, and then you have to take like a knife to cut it. Well, their size, you'd have to have a samurai sword, and then you pull off the shelf on the outside, and it has just the supports essentially that go side by side. So then you take a heat gun and you heat it up slightly and comb the hair of the lion. So it's a freaking lion 3D printed with hair, like it's badass. So this guy did it with his like 1x1, like it's like a 1.5 foot by 1 or something like that.
Yeah,
foot printed like a big one, like the thing's probably this big. And he did that one because everyone's always in the small ones. So I can imagine a 3-foot one, just have that sitting by your front door, sitting this tall. You just have like this lion that you had to take a heat gun to for 6 hours to comb the hair. There's a story.
It would be even more ridiculous because if you did it like an orange like this or something like that, or just did like a bright pink day glow filament, like just pet my pink line.
Well, and I
Well,
think
then you take it and get
that
it cosplay
size, you could have it to where toddlers could sit on it and take pictures.
You
know?
could print your own butler.
Yeah.
You just have him stand there for your keys.
Yeah.
Or if Snoop's coming over,
Yeah.
you move to Colorado and put little weeds on it.
But after visiting with those guys, like I'm looking more at open
Actually,
builds.
it's right here. They've already done one, I think.
Snoop Dogg's?
No. I clicked on our thing to the YouTube
channel.
Words are hard.
and
Yeah.
on the right, it's called the Hairy Lion.
The hairy line, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you do the audio only, you missed like a week of a lot of releases. So go to the YouTube channel because we did like 12 interviews with people. Where we did interviews with 12 different entities or people at Comicpalooza. All those interviews are on the YouTube channel. We did a live podcast from the floor.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So they just heat. So that's what it prints out to be.
So you're
And then
looking
they
so for audio only again, like, and plus this isn't on the camera or anything either because of copyright shit. But basically, you 3D print something that looks like a brush assembly in a car wash. And
Well, no, you print it like that.
yeah, it looks like a brush assembly in a car wash.
Okay.
But you take a heat gun and you have to move. First of all, you have to like soften up the plastics and be able to move it around, and then you can move the individual hairs and sculpt it as if it's fur.
Well, you gotta cut it out first because you gotta cut it out of the spindle.
You got to trim it.
Yeah. No. So that solid piece around it,
Uh-huh.
he cuts all the way around, then pulls that off.
Yeah, because that's all support.
Yeah,
That's all
see?
support material.
That's the outer casing, and then that's what you get. So you get that.
Yeah.
That lampshade looking fucking lion. And
You could
and then
print a
takes the heat gun to
lampshade
that.
lion.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But see, I mean, you put that on a 3x3 foot one. Our nephew could ride that. Like, just
I'm getting
put
more.
a saddle on it.
I'm getting more interested in after seeing the cosign stuff and everything else. I'm looking more at. There's a website called Open Builds, which is all like open source hardware. They use V-Rails for all their builds, but it's all open source stuff for building your own 3D printers, your own CNC machines, and they have, I think, their biggest one that you can build from the parts that they have, or the biggest one that people in the community have built. I want to say theirs is like 4 foot by 4 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah, I don't need to print anything that big.
Yet. Because like the idea that I've had, so one of the projects I'm working on right now is a better box for Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Betrayal at House on the Hill?
Yep.
I keep getting mixed up with House on Haunted Hill. But
I think the house may be more haunted than the hill,
yeah,
unless you buried a bunch of people in the hill next to the house.
the hill just makes goofy noises. Just
like old,
hit me with
old
the
man
sound.
noises.
That's so good.
I did that quicker than normal. And
Yes.
That's,
I would not live in a house on a hill that made that noise. Like, I would fart, old man, just fart already. It would not be an enjoyable time.
If you've enjoyed this sound, send us $1. We'll make a ringtone.
what are you talking about? They just made a ringtone from it.
Right.
Yeah, I know, you bastards. But yeah, I've been following this website for 6 years or so because I've been wanting to get a CNC machine, like a CNC table, and now I'm more interested in the possibilities of building my own 3D printer out of this stuff. Just not so much. Well,
Ooh, and carbon fiber.
there is a matter of scale. Like you don't think you'll need to print something that big, but with the idea of building a better box for Betrayal, instead of printing individual pieces and bolting them together or gluing them together, just printing the entire insert from the bottom up and just having that as one piece. My printer is, I think, like 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 inches away from achieving that.
Being big enough to...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what and I used to know it because I wanted one, but they have the form makers, where like you put the sheet of plastic,
Thermoformers. Yeah.
So that's why I think instead of building a giant printer, I'd rather go with one of those because then you can print it and make like your this is the way it works. You you move little parts of it, make it modular, and go, this is
Yeah.
the final one, and then you thermo over that, and you make a solid one that way.
Thermoformers are very easy to build. The only problem is with a sheet of plastic that size, getting a heating element that would heat the plastic evenly.
Multiple heat guns.
It's a problem with having it cool on the corners because you're looking at
Multiple
something.
hair dryers that are in cold setting.
My thought would be to go. My thought would be just to go get a scrapped oven and take the heating element out of that, and build an aluminum box. You can get a metal brake and just build an aluminum box to go around that, and put your heating element inside there, and just have your frame with the plastic, on a cylinder drop spring kind of mechanism, and just do it that way. You can build a vacuum box easily.
Yeah.
With a box with that kind of volume, getting something that has enough power may be difficult, but you can always chain multiples, and it's very possible. It's very possible.
So, I'm looking for a little crappy oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can start powder coating.
Yeah.
I saw a video of how easy that is, and that the investment's only like $60.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
why does no one in our group do this yet?
You need to get a bigger oven because I realized that the
Bigger
bedliner cover, the bedliner coating on my step rails is chipping because they didn't treat them properly before they coated them.
Did you
So
say
there
buy
was
a big oven so I can put part of my truck in it.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you give me a measurement on that part of your truck so I can?
It's about 6 feet.
Actually, let's just go to the morgue. I think that would be the best place for
Actually,
this.
I was looking for, because I mentioned that when I did my YouTube day of powder coating and
Yeah.
learning how easy it was, because this one YouTube couple went to Harbor Freight, spent $60 using an online coupon, and powder coated some awesome looking cups while their kid was asleep, because apparently they haven't done a lot of videos together because their kid was sleeping.
Yeah.
And in this 10-minute video, I learned all that.
Wait,
and
they both left and just left the kid asleep?
Well, they were someone
They
there
tied
watching.
him to the couch.
Yeah, I don't know
Black
that.
Snake
I don't know that
moaned
part
him.
of the logistics. I just know they were finally able to do one together,
Yeah.
and because you could see where it was edited and what parts they were moving around, right?
Yeah.
And that process, they're them pulling shit out of the bag and trying it. I was like, if they can do that shit that, literally is easy. And they used a toaster oven sideways. They just put a toaster oven on its side and put the cup in there, and I was
Yeah.
yeah, this is fucking easy, and it doesn't take a lot of time. So I was like,
Yeah, I know people. There's the wife of a guy that I work with who does just that. They powder coat and they do custom engraving on Arctic cups.
Yeah, so I brought that up at work, and someone's like, you can get kilns on Craigslist for cheap because people buy them for whatever, and then they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this for a living.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I look it up, and I was like, $4,000. No, I was like, that's cheap for a kiln, but
Craigslist these days is the perfect source for hobbies that people have abandoned. It's almost like musical instruments at pawn shops in college towns.
The problem is no one wants to pay good money for magic cards.
That's always been the problem.
Yeah.
New stuff, yes. Old stuff, no.
I'm just waiting.
Unless you have the right old stuff, and then it's great.
See, that's the problem is I have so much of it I don't know it's the right.
Yeah, you got too
old
much of
stuff.
it. But it's freaking awesome to get more into the maker stuff, man. That's I have been so pumped. That was the number one thing I took away from Comicpalooza was, damn, I want to start building stuff more. And a lot of the stuff around the house is starting to reflect that. Just the light bars, these LED light bars, that's lighting the table right now. Those are very simple to put together. It's not that that's a great maker achievement, but now that I have them on the TV above and below the TV in my office, and that's my new bench light for the giant desk in my office. Freaking love it, dude.
Yeah, but then you have bright light shining at you when you're trying to watch TV.
You don't have to have them on. There's a dimmer. There's a dimmer on the back of the TV just like this one.
Is it voice command? Can I tell it to dim?
No, not yet.
Then you have your next project.
I don't know if I want to get into the Alexa stuff that much. I have
get Google
the
Home.
Hue lights. I have the Hue lights here, and
You have an Android phone. You can just do it with that.
I do.
You'd be like, okay, Google. See?
ha.
See?
It answered.
I love doing that in a meeting when people have it sitting there, and I'm like, okay, Google, and everyone's phone. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
eh.
It works great on stage. If you have a rowdy crowd, they're not paying attention to you. Just throw Siri or a hello or Hey Google at it.
Yeah, easy enough.
Hey Google, text mom. You're a bitch.
Well, Well, that Burger King commercial did it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Burger King
I don't
commercial
watch commercials.
that was like, "Okay, Google, tell me about the Whopper." So like everyone,
I don't know though. I don't. It's a weird I don't know if it's paranoia or if it's just something that I'm not comfortable with doing. I don't like the fact that there's a device listening to me at all times, because if you notice, like your ads on Facebook and stuff will start to reflect the stuff that you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like my phone, if I browse a website, all of a sudden I have an ad that's targeted based on the conversation that I'm having live in the room, and it's just weird.
Yes, very, very.
And I don't have any of that enabled on my phone. I don't have the OK Google or anything
you don't
else.
have to have it enabled on your phone for them to be listening.
I'm aware of that. So it's just a weird thing. So it's almost like, if they're going to do it anyway, do you just sell out and get the benefits of it anyway?
Well, that's the way I look at it is if they really want to hear what I have to say, and they like they're gonna get it. They're gonna get the information that they want one way or another through either selling a product that gets it and it's in that really long terms of agreement thing they expect us to read that no one does, and that's how you have the iPad Centipede thing.
This is one of the only times I've been able to say this. There's a South Park for that.
Yeah. But, so you have...
Citizens did it.
Yeah. So you have that, right? That it's going to exist, and it's going to get worse and worse. So why not just embrace it and be like, I really don't have anything to hide.
If you just spam it with a bunch of just ridiculous shit.
Well, I mean, and it's a pretty good filter, because I have some conversations that they could throw some weird ads up. Because, I mean, everyone that's listened to the show has met Mills, right? We get drunk together, and conversations go a little crazy because he just starts talking, and I'm like, "That's the story." I don't want and my phone doesn't reflect that on my ad, so I'm happy about that. Like, it filters it well.
I really wanted to do if we had like YouTube nights. We haven't had a YouTube night in a long time.
It's been a while.
But
no, we had kind of one. No, it wasn't really. We watched like 2 videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
and you're over.
Yeah, that was a while. That was a while back though. But I wanted to be able to guess like I wanted to be able to just say like the suggested videos, just go down the weird rabbit hole that we're going down mentally, just joking around, and I want YouTube to be able to follow that. Because like when we looked up
I want the ads to just change to small case letters, fuck, and that's it. It's like no, we're done. Y'all are weird. There's something wrong with you. Go see a doctor. Either that or it's just therapists.
Yeah.
It's just therapy ads. Like, free
help.
Therapists. Click here.
We're
paying for it. Like, that would be the best ad I could ever see on my phone or my computers. I'm just there. It's like, we've been listening. You need to go see a therapist. We're paying. Like, the ad's just giving you something for free.
See, all I heard was him say, "Alex, I'll take the rapist for 800 5 times."
The penis mightier. I invented a penis mightier once.
Trebek.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get back into this maker stuff, man. It's been a long time since I made the last big projects were this table that we're at, and I've kind of hit a pretty big slump since then. But it's cool to get back into getting back into the mental state of wanting to create and build stuff. Comedy is going well. I'm writing. I feel like I'm doing the best stuff I've ever done there. That's going very well. But now it's sort of like that became a black hole, and now the quality is starting to go down. So you have to go and bounce out and chase something else to kind of let the battery recharge in this other area that you're draining. Yeah. And now I'm coming back to designing and 3D printing and getting more creative in this realm, and more furniture that is to fill this room. The drum set's gone.
Yeah,
so
I know. It's funny watching you walk to the office area over there to get something, because it's like,
and I don't have to like.
He went to go get something.
It could be right here.
Well, I mean, I like things to be clean, so everything has a dedicated drawer. All the quadcopter stuff, all the drone stuff has a dedicated drawer in there, so all that stuff is in there.
See, I'm working on that. I have the plan for my IT closet, which I was going to get to last week, and that didn't happen. But now I have 5 days off, so I'm hoping it's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so there's going to be a lot of extra stuff at the house, and I was like, that's going to really prohibit me from doing what I want to do with the organizational stuff.
Yeah.
On my days off, so I already
it is reserved. A holiday. It is a holiday weekend, but trip to the lumberyard on Saturday.
Actually, I was thinking about Tuesday, because Saturday I'm going to be on the other side of town.
Tuesday I got to go to work.
Do you really have to? I have strep. You might catch it. There, it's on record. You're good now, right?
Proof is in the podcast.
Yeah. No. I've got a bunch of deployments and I have to be at work.
Well, anyway, so what I've reserved today was a storage unit next to the house because they had if you reserved off the line, no contracts, first rent free, $86 for like a big room because I got a discount for however many months. And I was like, I only need it for 3 months. Be like $150 total. My home insurance covers the required insurance because I read the fine print. Was in a meeting waiting on people. That's why I read the fine print. So I emailed my insurance agent today. He's like, nope, you're good. You're already covered. You don't need to buy their crappy insurance. Just print out this and take it to them. So like for $150, I can empty my garage and then fill it up one thing at a time and have everything sorted.
Yeah.
Over the next few weekends. So that's kind of my goal.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Because I mean, it's within. I can drive to the unit and back inside of like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I just like unload all the shit, right, and just put it in there, and then one thing at a time, and that way I have room for my projects, and over the next couple of months, I get the free weekends. It's all done, and the thing's empty. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
That's a pretty good strategy for organizing your garage. Just take all the junk to a storage unit. That's probably also going to show you a lot of stuff that you just want to throw away. It's like, I don't feel like moving this back.
Yeah, I'll just be like, can I get a discount if you take all that? You can sell it. Like, just put a lock on it and like put it on the internet, and people will come here and bid on that. I swear.
Hold your own storage locker auction.
It's not going to be that full.
Even then, you do it.
We all have a bunch of Amazon boxes. We can make it look full.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, I can go like. There's a lot of stuff at people's houses they don't want anymore. Just fill it up and be like auction.
Yeah.
Actually, if I get $200 for it, it would pay for the cost of how much I'm having to do it for.
Start your own business, clearing off junk from other people's houses. Just fill up storage units with it, and then auction off like what could be inside. Who knows?
Except it's always the same people that go, so they're going to be like, no, this guy fucking last time. He somehow bid it up himself. I was the only one here to $1,500.
You're going to
and it was empty Amazon boxes and cat litter.
I got $200 from Casper. Sir?
You're going to
Casper said $250.
You're going to be the Space City Con dude of
Storage Wars.
Of Storage Wars, yeah.
Nope.
And you film it, put it on your own YouTube channel, monetize
and
that, bam.
Money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Triple, quadruple dipping.
Well, no, see, that's where I'd get screwed the first time, right? I'm like, yeah, I have little cameras and stuff in there, so they're recording it. Then they win, and they get all my cameras, and I'm like, shit. Like, no, it was in there.
No.
Damn it.
Drones. Fly them bitches out when you're done. The drone picks up a bag each. You're like, moves it to the storage unit next. Our next unit. Oh, now do you do the floor, that like a rolling floor? So like the wall between the unit rolls up and the whole thing slides over to the next one.
You just get an empty unit.
Be like, all right, I'm locking it now. You're the only one with a key. Sign here. The whole time it's just sliding to the next unit.
You're just trolling bitches like... Just trolling people like they
open it up. It's the same shit.
No, it's different. I promise. There are 14 identical garages. We split all of his stuff up into 14ths.
What was that tomb? God, yeah, that's what it is. You're getting trolled like Geraldo with Al Capone's vault. There's nothing inside, but you have a 2-hour-long TV special about it. That's funny, man. That's funny.
I kind of want to invest in a storage unit place now. Just have like that one in called the auction center,
or just turn it into a giant claw game.
Yeah.
Just when people leave stuff, just dump it into this big clear room, and you have a giant industrial crane with a claw.
No. Even better. I also have a daycare, and you just strap the kids to it and tell them what to get. You're dropping them in there. You're like, lift the fridge, lift it. He's not going to get it. Sorry. Oh, yeah. $10 more. You can put the strong kid in there.
Why has there ever been a human claw game? There should.
Yes, there is.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you YouTube it, I guarantee it. Because I've seen.
I would
something
imagine it's on a
similar.
bungee cord.
Just like the claw game, you drop the claw too far and they just bounce off of something. I saw a video with one of the best claw game hacks ever. They took a rare earth magnet and moved the claw door was closest to the window and just held it down close to one of the things that were sticking out, because all the stuff by the glass
Is the best stuff.
it's always the best stuff, and it always protrudes the furthest.
Yeah.
So they had this rare earth magnet down low, and as they dropped the claw, it stuck to the magnet, locked onto the thing they wanted to lock on because they had the magnet right in front of it, and yoinked right up.
Nice.
Perfect.
Looks like a lot of county fairs have them, and one of them's really, really cheap because they just got tires painted like donuts.
A human claw game?
There's a lot of YouTube videos.
I love that that's like in his Google search history right now.
I know.
Human claw game.
I can't wait to see what Facebook ads
It's
he gets
called
because of that.
called the human claw machine. Actually,
He's going to get weeks of ads for harnesses.
hey, but then I'll have a human claw machine in my backyard, and what?
No, actually, you'll probably have it in a storage unit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that would make the New Year's Eve party even more interesting.
Ooh, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think my insurance is enough, and I have good insurance.
Now just do it in that space we do fireworks. It's no one's property.
Let's put it near the fireworks. Wait, no, even better. You mix the two. You just put all the fireworks out there, and the human claw experiment is: here's a torch, try to light one.
Or no. They hold the torch, and then someone from a remote location has the joystick and tries to maneuver them to light the torch.
I think we should do this via satellite so that there's a slight delay like you get on the controller of the claw.
That way, you don't actually see them get hit. You see the aftermath of it because you have it glitch right there, right? So when you're like, "Oh, I should move them out of the way," it's light, it's lit, it's got to move them.
These are brilliant ideas.
Someone should write these down.
See, and I'm not even drinking,
Right?
Yeah.
which I want to be.
This is how I live all the time.
I should bring a little mini fridge over here and just some beers into it. It'd be like old days.
The last time you had a mini fridge at Chad's house?
No. Like the old days of the podcast being by my mini fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Or that speaker cabinet should be a mini fridge. But I don't think Derek would take too kindly to me gutting his base cabinet.
Well, I mean, you do want to do more maker projects.
Yeah.
3D print him a box. Actually, you have to make Legos that would create the box because your printer can't print something that big. So you just have to make snap together walls for an amplifier that would not shake apart, not vibrate out.
Well, you just glue them.
Yeah, you could glue them.
And I have the 3D printer
Or
pen.
you could heat them up and comb them together, like Kyle's lion.
I don't think you understand the lion.
It works just like fur does in the wild. The heat doesn't escape.
It did remind me that I need to go buy a heat gun. I saw what heat guns can do to 3D prints, like how people just like hit it real quick to every print they do. Just looks better.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was trying to hold a hiccup in while mid conversation. I was like,
And then he dropped an imaginary bomb while he did it.
Yeah.
And then we heard the swallow, and
I've tried the heat gun smoothing method, and it gets out of hand quickly. Like,
well, you're not supposed to like smooth it. It's just to get all of the phrase and just burp, done. You even can make the burp noise to make it fun.
because it's also a technique for taking out scratches in car interiors. So when I put this light bar, I have this.
That's why he needs to put his truck in an oven.
Yeah, I have this light bar. The
we could build an oven big enough for your truck.
Where's Discovery Channel? We should all just have a reality show by now where it's just us.
Yeah, we need funding. That's the problem.
It's just us. Discovery Channel has money, but it's just executing. It's just us executing the crazy shit that we've talked about on the podcast. But yeah, that was a technique I found for taking scratches out of car interiors, like the plastic dash panels and stuff like that. There's the actual the community around the Tacoma is ridiculous. They make some awesome stuff.
Bitches like them tacos.
Yeah, but
I mean, there is Taco Tuesday. There's a day.
Some guy
day
made
of the week for him.
A docking rechargeable light bar that just fits right underneath where the AC controls are, and it lights up the cup holders in the center console. And you have two selectable colors of the lights, or you can just have white and brighter white.
Why haven't you made it yet?
It's in my truck.
Oh, you did make it?
I didn't make it. I bought it.
Oh, why didn't you make it?
Because it's way easier to pay someone $20 that's already done it. But you tap into the 12-volt in the dash, and it docks with magnets, and it's a rechargeable light bar. So if you need a flashlight, I already carry like tons of flashlights in my truck, but this one's right here, just undocks really quick, and it's just a 4-element, really bright LED light bar. So really cool thing to have for the truck. I can't remember why I was talking about the light bar, though. Oh, the community around the taco, the Tacoma.
Well, that was part of the story.
I'm part
There
of
was
the taco
something else.
community.
We were going to bake your truck. And then you started talking about the community surrounding your truck. And now it sounds like when we drove your truck out of the oven, there would be people with pitchforks waiting for us.
Yeah.
The people that love the taco.
Or it could be the
Damon.
people that are like, that's the wrong type of taco. Because I think that if there were such a community, like he's part of his taco community, but me and you'd be part of this different taco community, and they are delicious. And most of them come out of food truck.
Yeah.
Most.
But in that community.
Yeah, I think I said community one too many times, maybe. Could be a possibility. The show's getting late.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye, guys.
I think we're going to wrap it up, B. But yeah, that's episode 100, and zanier as it's always been.
Yeah.
This is what happens if we go too long between episodes.
It does. We should do some statistics on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Should
level
put
of
together
zaniness.
Put together a
I was
pivot.
wondering what that sound was. I was like, the music sounds really weird. What's happening?
Yeah, I go to work after the podcast for Comicpalooza, and someone goes, "What the hell's up with your brother's beard?" And I was like, "He can finally grow one."
We
right?
got it. Well, we got it on recording.
Yeah.
Your beard played a significant portion of the podcast from Comicpalooza because we were using
With
lab
lapel,
mics.
yeah, and my beard kept getting caught in the mic.
Yeah.
Well, no, they saw it and they were like, what?
Oh, well, you could hear it too.
They thought you were going to dress up
yeah.
as Gandalf or Renifest.
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 It's not Gandalf Link.
Well, I mean, you still got a few months.
No, it won't be that long. It is starting to part itself down the middle, no, like the Red Sea. I could go as Moses.
Well, that's a command we'll have to deal with later on. Anyway, until next time, good night. I always assume it's night. It may not be night where you are. We're not going to end this episode. It may not be night where you are. It could be daytime, but I don't care.
Well, no, just leave some dead air and they can turn it off when it's night.
Yeah.
All right, so turn it off when it's night. Bye.
Night with a K.
Like Michael.